And we try again. Sorry for that. My fault. Well, I blame me. I'm the only one doing this, so it has to be me. This is the Fatback 4 Daily. It is on the night where Liverpool have beaten Red Bull Salzburg by 4-3 at Anfield in the Champions League group stages. This show is brought to you by Paddy Power. If you gamble or if you don't, gamble responsibly. If you do, if you don't, you don't. Try it with Paddy Power, a website, a bookies, an app, has all the specials, has all the football, has our own specials, sport, everything else beyond that. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. So, with me tonight is Damo Flood. Damo's being a regular on the show and will continue to be so over the next coming weeks and months as the season goes on. Damo, that was just off the wall.
Mad game, wasn't it? Kind of remind you of the Liverpool from 4 or 5 years ago when we were kind of susceptible to these types of games, and you'd be kind of watching through from behind the couch when you're 3-0 up, wondering are we going to blow this? And when you got the third, you were kind of thinking that. But it's I suppose these types of games can be expected with the way we play. We either buy into it or we don't, and we'll probably come up against teams that'll do this to us, especially if they play. Like, they're very good in the final third of the pitch. And when they were kind of getting 3v3s and kind of overloads there, they were always going to cause us problems. In saying that, I don't think we managed it too well. But listen, we'll take the 4-3 tonight. We've got 3 points. I just would have rather a bit of an easier game going into the game against Leicester on Saturday.
Yeah, you know something, just before we get into the madness of it all, the team surprised me a little bit. Only one change, which was enforced with Matip being out and Gomez having to come in. The midfield stayed the same. The forward line stayed the same. Did that surprise you at all?
It did, considering we've got Leicester coming on Saturday, which to me, I know tonight is a massive game. We had to win after losing our first game. But Leicester, to me, it's all about the Premier League to me this year. We should be really focused on having our best 11 on the pitch every Saturday. And bar Matip in that side tonight, that probably is our best starting 11, and we're looking at. So you'd want as many of them fresh come Saturday. It was a perfect game, I think, to probably give Keita even another 70 minutes under his belt, or even get one of the other lads, Ox, into the team. I was surprised there was only the one change, and then to see that it was Gomez, I thought it was just a bit of a strange setup. Now maybe Klopp was thinking, let's get the game put to bed early and we get 3 lads off with kind of 35 minutes to play. He probably didn't envisage looking at this being 3-3 at an hour gone. So maybe he was thinking that way, but I would have much preferred to see maybe 1 or 2 others get rotated tonight.
Yeah, look, I thought a midfield change might have been there. Maybe a Henderson or a Wijnaldum to drop out, and maybe a Milner and add a stretch of Keita to come in. But they go with what they go with, and to be honest with you, the first 30 minutes, bar them having the odd sniff, I thought we were sublime. Overall sublime. Some of the football we played, you know, even when the fullbacks had to switch over after a set piece, I thought we looked absolutely on fire. When we go 3-0 up, we'll go through the goals in a minute, but when you're 3-0 up, Damo, you're thinking, here we go. Listen, this could be 4 or 5 and it's a stroll. And we do what you've just suggested. Suggested? That didn't come out right. Yeah. Suggested. And we go and we take off 2 or 3 on the 70-minute mark or 65-minute mark, and everyone's happy. Everyone goes home and it's 3 points for Liverpool.
Yeah, like there's no 2 ways about it. We had an excellent kind of start to the game. We were on fire. The ball was moving quickly. We were doing exactly the way we want to play and the way we want to see us play. And it's exciting to watch that when we're playing at that level. I do kind of say that Salzburg were a big kind of part of us playing the way we did, because stupidly they come on to us, and that's what we thrive on. And there was gaps all over the place for us to play in. As soon as we went 3 up, they made a little small tactical change, which made them a little bit more solid. They weren't going to kind of bomb us forward as much as they were. Where I think I said this about the Napoli game, where we probably should have looked at 70 minutes and taken a point. We should have looked just to kill this game off and maybe pick them off another one or two, instead of just keeping going toe for toe with them, which kind of suited them a little bit because they liked us to come onto them as well, because of the lads they had up front. They had a bit of pace and they had a good touch about them and a good movement. So they would have liked to isolate Gomez, Van Dijk and the lads, especially with the two fullbacks going to push on as high as they did. So I do think Salzburg played exactly into our hands for the first half an hour, and we blitzed them. But as soon as they made the little change, I think we should have been a little bit more savvy there and said, right, let's just kill this game off till half time and not let that happen. And even going into the second half, we didn't react. We still tried to go on to them and tried to bash them. And it wasn't going to happen. That's why we needed to kind of say, right, now let's keep ball for a while, run these off the park, and we'll pick them off for one or two. So, I think frustratingly, we didn't manage the game like we should have at maybe 3-1 or 3-0. You can probably look at it and say, we're going to keep going at you. But at 3-1, you're kind of saying, right, let's just tread water here for a little bit. Let's keep the ball, keep popping it around. And we didn't. We just kept going at them. And it became like two boxers slugging each other in the middle of the ring, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Like the comments are absolutely flying in here on the chat. I am trying my best to keep up with them, keep them coming, and I'll try keep a note as we go along. Kev Sullivan said he felt at half time I felt we played very well on the ball at times, brilliantly on the ball at times. Kev Sullivan felt at half time that we were sloppy. At times, and I have to agree with him. Looking at the first half, like I thought, I will promise I will go through the goals and stuff like that, but just the talking points around the first half, Damo, I thought Gomez was poor. I thought he was poor positionally. I thought they were launching the ball down the side of him at every given opportunity for the man to run onto, and he seemed to be leaving himself very exposed. His passing was off from very early on. I thought Gomez was poor. I thought Henderson was poor. I thought he was trying to be too clever at times instead of just taking it and moving around and do what he's there to be done. We've said lots of times, I have anyway, that, you know, this midfield is functional and it's all about winning the ball, playing it simple, playing it fast, and going from there. Firmino, although he's there to, you know, facilitate and, you know, score goals and create chances, I thought at times he was trying a little bit too hard with flicks or little one-touch, you know, passes when it would have been safer to just take the ball and move it. You know, and I'm not saying go boring, Damo, but I'm talking about just, even though it might be 100 miles an hour, it's no harm to take a ball and just pass it around for even 30, 40 seconds and slow it back down. You know, that kind of way, and keep and control and manage, like you said.
Yeah, I definitely think that, and I think the lads probably got caught up in the moment as well. Like when you're 3-0 up and the crowd is behind you and it's Champions League night, I'm sure they get a semi on them as well. You know, they want more goals and they want to try the flicks and the tricks and the whole lot, and that's fine if they're coming off, and it's great if we thump them 5 or 6-0. But as soon as they get one back, I thought we should have tried to manage the game a little bit better after that, and I don't think we did. I'd agree with you on Gomez. I haven't been a fan of Gomez for a while. I think he's the type of player who relies a lot on his pace. I remember he played at right back, and I didn't like him as a right back. One, because he doesn't offer what Trent does, because he doesn't get forward. But what kind of I didn't like about him, mostly at right back, was he was susceptible to the ball being caught over the back of him. And when he took in to cover whoever the centre half was, he was very susceptible to that ball being clipped in behind him, and he was always caught under it. And now I've noticed this has crept into his game as a centre half as well. If you watch both goals that they get second half, now a lot of people look at that and say Trent isn't hooked around, but Gomez isn't aware either time of where that man is. And a really good centre half, if you watch Van Dijk the opposite side, his body half turned out, and he'd be watching over his shoulder to see, is there a runner coming, where the man is, and he'll want to know where his fullback is, where Gomez is oblivious to it. And that's a flaw in his game that he has at the minute that he needs to get out of it if he wants to be a centre half for a long period of time at Liverpool Football Club. Because I'm sure Klopp is going to see that. That's simple defending for a centre half. And if he continues to make them same mistakes in games, I'm sure Liverpool will look at a player that won't make them same mistakes in the game, that can come in and cover for Matip and Van Dijk.
Yeah, I'm not questioning Gomez's quality, and I have said on numerous occasions that for me he's a centre back and shouldn't be near right back. I stand by that, and I will always stand by that until the day Joe Gomez leaves Liverpool or plays his last game for them. You know, and I'm not questioning his ability. I just felt Joe Gomez to me looked like a player that hadn't played a lot of football. That's what he looked like. You know, just that yard, Damo, where that ball is going down the side so many times in the first half, and just to say to himself, you know what, I can't give myself, like, he's very fast, don't get me wrong, but the striker was quite fast. If he drops off 2 yards, okay, he's not keeping the line with Van Dijk, but we all know where this ball is going. If he drops off 2 yards, he probably heads it, intercepts it, you know, chests it down, does anything like that. You know, there's loads of things that can happen for Gomez there. I just felt he was sloppy, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I did say throughout the game he was poor, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, look, he hasn't played an awful lot of football. I think he started on the first day of the season, and I don't think he started a game since, bar the League Cup. So it's just one of those where it can happen.
He does look like the injury has taken a bit out of him. I think he's lost not half a yard of pace, but he seems to have lost a little bit of his pace. But I'll stand over what I said, and if you go back and look at when he played, even when he was playing the top of his game last year, he's still susceptible to that ball in behind him down the channel. And he doesn't tend to be aware of it.
Yeah, but I think he can be. I think anybody playing on the right side of the defence, centre half for Liverpool, will be susceptible to that ball, because that's usually where teams will attack. They're not going to go near Van Dijk. He's going to win it in the air. He's going to win it on the ground. If you want to put it in behind, he'll run with you. So Liverpool are going to have to look at this ball all the time, no matter who's playing there. You know, if Van Dijk went over and played there, they'd put it down the left hand side. You know, it's one of those things. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but for me, he's going to need a couple of games to get into it. You know, people are saying they got really angry. Somebody said there they got really angry. They were kicking stuff over at 3-3. Mick asks, is our back line too high? Leicester could have a field day. No, I don't think it was. I just think it was more decision making at times. So it is decision making, but I think Matip comes back in there, and I think his decision making has improved immensely over the last year. Anyway, excuse me. But moving on a little bit, Damo, and the goals. We go through the goals because there's one more player I want to speak about from the first half. But the goals themselves, Damo, the first goal, Mane, it's a brilliant goal. He makes it himself along with a little bit of help from Firmino, but first of all, brilliant goal. Second of all, the amount of space they gave us out wide was criminal at times, wasn't it?
It was, and that's what we're saying to you in the first half an hour. We completely blitzed them because they let Trent, Robertson push right on. Salah and Mane had a field day in the wide areas as well, the space they were creating. And it's it was criminal what they did. But in fairness, when they went 3-0 down, I know, like I said, they reacted to it. It was a bit late then. But they did react to it and they stopped it. And if we know the second half, they didn't give us that same amount of space to play in the wide areas. So it's, the first 40 minutes, it was criminal to give us that amount of space. I think they tried to choke the middle, which is never going to work because we have the quality out wide as well.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Like, you know, that's the first goal. The second goal, best goal of the night for me. Robertson gets it at left back, charges through into midfield. Few passes are made. Henderson really hits a good, really good pass to Trent. It's not that it's an exquisite pass or it's something he treads through, you know, the eye of a needle, but the pace on it is perfect. Right into Trent's path, great square ball, and let's be honest, Robertson's like a striker in there, getting across his man, opening his foot up and settling it with, you know, straight into the net. It's a really, really good goal there, isn't it?
It's a brilliant goal, yeah. Like that's what we all want to see. It's all we want to see games where we're playing nice, attractive, open football. We're getting the ball, we're moving it quickly, and we're tearing teams apart that just can't touch us and finishing off a move like that. So yeah, no, that's a fantastic goal. Probably one of the best ones we've scored this season so far.
Yeah, it was. It was a brilliant goal. It's just to see that fullback getting involved, and then it goes into Firmino, who gives it to Henderson, who gets it across to Trent and the square ball. So it goes through left back to the strikers, to the midfield, to the right back, to the left back. It's unbelievable. You know, we go 3-0 up then, and to be honest with you, Salzburg look all over the place. They really, really do. Again, down the left hand side, Robertson, no pressure on him. Mane just points that he wants it down the wing, gets it down, left foot across into the box. Firmino gets a decent glancing header on it. I thought the keeper was poor, parries it out. Salah doesn't quite catch it well, and that's probably what does the keeper. But he makes it 3-0, and good to see Salah on the score sheet, isn't it? People were talking about his form and the game at the weekend. Good to see him on the score sheet.
Yeah, he scores 2 tonight, but I still thought he looked a bit off the pace tonight. And I was going to just say, Mane seems to have stepped really up for us from the first goal he scored there tonight. The fella just excites me as soon as I see him. Every time he gets the ball, he looks like he's going to do something. And that's what Salah used to do for us. And at the moment, it's like, I don't know if he's trying too hard at the minute and things aren't coming off from. Listen, I'm not fearful that there's anything wrong with Salah or there's anything long term. This is just a little bit of a rut of form that he's in at the minute. He'll come out of this, like all good footballers do. But even tonight, he scored the 2 goals. It's great to see him, and that'll give him great confidence going into the next couple of games. But I still thought he looked a bit off the pace tonight. A little bit sloppy.
He gave it away a few times.
Giving it away. Yeah.
I think there was 2 or 3 instances in the first half where he comes in off the right wing. You know, the defender is shadowing him. He goes to try to hit a pass, under hits or misdirected pass, and in fairness, the 2 or 3 times he gave it away, it put us under pressure, because usually when he gives it away, he's giving it away to. It's usually a midfielder with an attacking intent for the opposition. You know, that ball that's cut out that he's looking for, and they're on the front foot. It did happen a couple of times, but that's always going to happen, Damo. When you have Salah and, you know, Firmino, Mane, when they're all going to try different things. They're obviously given license to express themselves anywhere on the pitch, so that's always going to happen, isn't it?
That is, yeah. Like we've seen from Mane and Salah, the 2 of them do look like to cut inside. And you're quite right in saying, if they give it away looking for that 1-2, or it's nipped off them as they cut inside, you've got a midfielder that's straight at your midfield, and they can counter quick. But we are going to always suffer that, because that's the way we play. We want them lads, as you said, to express themselves. We want them to make things happen. And this, like, to bake a cake, you break a few eggs. And this is what I think Klopp is willing to do to try score goals, to try get us in about teams. He's willing to give them players the license to do that. It's just at the moment, it's not coming off from as much as he'd like it to come off. But like, look at it this way, he's banged 2 in tonight without playing particularly well. So that can only bode well for the future with him. Like, this is just a temporary little rut of form he's in. I wouldn't even say he's not playing well. He's just not playing at Salah levels. And I think we've just become so spoiled by what he does for us.
So accustomed to his qualities.
Exactly. When he doesn't have a 9 out of 10 game, people are questioning him. And then if he has another 7 or an 8, people are questioning him again, and starts to roll on. But he's doing absolutely fine. He's chipping in with assists, he's scoring goals, and he'll hit another rich vein of form again. I'm quite sure of that. It won't be too far away.
No. Well, we say that, and he's got 2 tonight. So, you know, a couple of people I mentioned in BT Sports. McManaman was on there tonight. Owen was on. I like Crouch. But Owen I can't stand. McManaman annoys me. But like, you know, Chris Brack says McManaman, he can't stand his commentary, arrogant and doesn't offer anything I want to hear. North Red says some of our football tonight was sublime. So work on that, and we will get this right, and we will annihilate somebody down the road. I'm going to touch on that a bit when we're talking in the second half. But just to finish off in the first half, Damo, they get one back. Again, we lose the ball. Sloppy. He gets down the inside left channel. Van Dijk for once dives in, and I think he does it because earlier in the game that guy has a shot. I think it's that guy. He has a shot of his left foot that Adrian saves at the near post. Van Dijk tries to, you know, work out what he's going to do and try block it. He turns him lovely. And he buries it. And all right, it's not a goal you like to see conceded, but my God, the reaction on Twitter at half time was just unbelievable. Like United fan pages, you know, going on about Van Dijk being destroyed by Red Bull Salzburg. Like it's just mad the levels he's at, isn't it?
It is. Like, when you think about it, if you're watching any game there tonight and you see that goal, you say, fucking good goal, that.
Yeah.
You know, sloppy from Henderson. He's giving it away at a time in the game, as we said earlier in our conversation, we needed to just manage it out till half time. He tries to play a little clippy one around the corner. We get caught, we get done. You're dead right. Van Dijk has come across and he's tried to read what that player's going to do. And because he's taken the shot early off the left foot earlier in the game, he's kind of committed. The fella does a brilliant turn. There's no two ways about it.
It's disguised brilliantly.
It's disguised brilliantly. And you can be the best player ever to play the game. you're going to get done with a bit of quality every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's madness. You can't blame anyone on that. That's put your hands up. The players, it's a bit of quality there from the Salzburg player, and you can't blame the centre half, goalkeeper, or anyone else. If you're starting to blame anyone, blame Henderson for clipping it around the corner instead of just keeping a nice simple one back into his full back or opening out and going the opposite side. But again, that's nitpicking a little bit now at the minute, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, no, it is. But to be honest with you, I felt Henderson had that kind of first half. Sometimes he was good, he was breaking stuff up. I do feel sorry for him at times because I genuinely believe he's covering right back, or he's covering air right back and letting Salah, as I say, cheat the position and stay up front. So he has a lot of work on his hands. But I never fault him for his work rate and his selfishness or selflessness for the team. But tonight, when he was on the ball at times, I thought he was very sloppy, trying to do things that Henderson shouldn't be trying to do. He's not that sort of player. He was sloppy. It was well disguised. It was a good finish. The second half comes, Damo, and I'm reading a couple of things. Barry Carr makes a very interesting point. He says we need a better way to play when we are up by such a margin. There's a fine margin between being able to do that and giving away a few at the other end. I think he's absolutely and utterly spot on with what he says there, because the big thing for me in the second half is obviously we win the game, but game management and holding on to the ball and not just having this, we're going to keep going with them attitude. Because for me, Damo, if you're 3-0 up or 3-1 up at half time and you come out, you don't have to go for the throat start of the second half. Do you know what you can do? You can take the spirit away from them from 45 to probably 60, 65. The game gets a big ragged. You step it up again and you probably put another 2 past them. Is our game management a little bit... And look, we're 7 from 7 in the league. We're through to the next round of the League Cup. We've won a European Super Cup. We're back on track in the Champions League. But is our game management at times, particularly when we go 2 or 3 goals up, is that a little... Not a worry, but is it something that Liverpool have to sit down and go, listen, when we're this far up, we don't need to keep going gung-ho. You don't need to sit right back either, but you need to get the balance right. And that balance for me looked a little bit off tonight. Probably way off at times.
Yeah, I'd agree with what he's saying there, and I said it earlier on tonight when we were talking about it. I do think we suffer a little bit of that from time to time, and I know people probably have a go at me for saying that because we've just gone and won so many games in a row on the spin and the whole lot. But I said it to you last week against Napoli as well. Sometimes you've got to take what you've got, and as you're dead right. At 3-1, if we come out second half and manage that game for 15, 20 minutes, they then have to come on to us even more. And that's when we can pick them off at will. But where we didn't, we come out second half and we go gung-ho against them and we end up getting picked off. So, yeah, it's probably a little bit naive from us. We probably thought we could have done it. But let's give them a bit of credit. They're a decent side. And I know, speaking to fans during the week, I think some people actually genuinely feared this game tonight. And I think we probably got a little bit ahead of ourselves when we were 3-0 up against this side to think that maybe, this should be a 6 or 7 job. But I've spoken to fans in the last couple of days that we're genuinely worried about this side hitting us for a few goals. So although the way the game went, 3-0 up and then shipping the 3 goals and then winning 4-3, I still think these had goals in against us tonight. And I know other fans that have watched it as well would have felt the same. So... let's just take the positives. The 3 points are in the bag. We've got our next game coming up away from home, which should be a winnable one, to get another couple of points on the board. But as Barry was saying there, I do sometimes think certain games could do with a little bit more game management, especially when we've got control of the ball or control of the game, and there's no need to do anything rash or madness.
Yeah, like people are saying, why are we speaking about this? You have to speak about it. That's part of the game. We can, drool over Liverpool most weeks, and I do. I'm a very, very optimistic fan, and I like to give credit, as much possible credit as I can. But something, when you see little issues going on, like I think it's Carl Duff says we managed the game really well at 3-3, and especially at 4-3. We absolutely did. And the funny thing is, when we play games and we're 1-0 up, Damo, or we're 2-1, or maybe even a 3-1 at times, we manage it excellently. We absolutely manage it excellently. We control the tempo. We might slow it down. We will keep the ball. You know, someone says there, Johnny Giles always says we don't have a player that can dictate a game. I disagree completely with that. I absolutely disagree completely with that, because if Liverpool went in with a little bit of a mindset and, you know, decided to want a slow game, Fabinho for me can control a game if he wants. He can get on it. He can pass it left, right, back to centre halves. He can clip them to the wide men like Mane, Salah. So Johnny Giles is talking complete utter bullshit, and has done for years. When he's on radio and television, that's why he's not on television anymore. But it's we do manage it well, Damo, with 3-3 and 3-3. I'm not going to go through the goals that they scored. They happen. But we do manage it well at 3-3 and 4-3. It's just a bigger worry for me when we are that far ahead, and we do let it. I don't know whether we just slow it, you know, drop 10 or 20%, or whether there's just the style of play we have kind of can get picked off, and if we're a bit unlucky, we can concede one or two and get ourselves in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, like it all depends on what way Klopp has had his team talk at half time, and what that guy says is exactly. We've managed it well at 3-3 and at 4-3, but why couldn't we manage it at 3-1 and not have the panic? You know, we kind of changed the way we played when it went 3-0 and 4-3. We kind of did slow the game down a little bit and took the sting out of them a bit, I think, when it went 3-0. For us then to step, as you said, then step onto them again and we get our fourth. And then at 4-3, then we're able to manage them because we can keep the ball. We can suck them onto us. We can get them to commit little niggly fouls, and we can manage the game out that way. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that at 3-1 as well. I think that's all we're saying here. We're not having.
No. I don't think we are. We're absolutely slamming Liverpool for tonight.
No.
These things can happen to the best teams. You know, to the. I've seen brilliant sides over the years, and every now and then things just go a bit haywire, and anything can happen. You know, James Kelly says, "Why doesn't Fabinho do it when we need it? Is it lackadaisical?" I think it's very hard for one player to go and control a game in a certain way when the rest of your side is looking to go absolutely tearing up the pitch and try to score more goals. You know that way. And the funny thing is, I'm of the belief that when we do slow a game a little bit and try control possession a little bit, we can pass, and usually at the end of it, we've opened someone up and create a chance to score a goal. You've seen us pass 20, 25 times, then bang, we hit somebody. So it's not like I'm going, we can't control a fucking game, and we don't have anyone in midfield. Not at all. It's just, and somebody said there, we need to be tested at times. So we were probably a bit bored. You know what I mean? You know what? That could be it. It could be just mind switching off a little bit, and one part of the team is trying to do one thing and one part of the team is trying to do the other. Sometimes you probably just need a little break and play and say, right, lads, listen, next 10, we're just going to not sit in, but we're going to slow this down, and we want to keep the ball. Keep it. And if you know, something comes up where there's a chance, we have to play people that can expose that and take advantage of that. Chris Brack says, you're not slamming them. It's constructive criticism. Easy for me to say. That's exactly what it is. It's constructive criticism. When I sat down and watched that match tonight, I was fucking drooling over Liverpool for the first 30-35. I really was. Some of the play, the switches of play, you know, Wijnaldum getting stuck in, I thought it was brilliant. Let me see. Chris Brack says, when the side is as good as theirs, these sort of performances are rare. So it's an opportunity to see where we can get some small gains. Damo, that's exactly it, because a couple of people have mentioned in the chat as well, you know, it's nitpicking. It is nitpicking. But you know what? It is in a great position to just be able to just nitpick over things rather than massive gaping holes. You know, the kind of way. So you're allowed nitpick as well, aren't you? And just see, you know, this should be done. And you know something, Damo? I'll put it to you this way, Damo. If we're 3-1 up against Leicester at the weekend at half-time, I guarantee you Leicester don't come back and score 3 goals.
No, definitely not. It's actually funny there when you hear about, like, we're nitpicking. I remember starting on one of the first pods, and we were horrific. That's all we done. It wasn't even nitpicking. We were slaughtering the team, and we were quite right to do it at the time, because it was, again, constructive criticism. If anybody watches a game on the weekend, they have the pundits on. They don't always pick the good out of games. They will pick the bads and the little mistakes. And sometimes I'll be watching and saying, well, that's a bit fucking harsh. But, like, listen, that's what football is. You look for the kind of little small things to talk about, because we just talk about the good stuff all the time. It gets pretty boring. You know, so you try to just look for a few other little things to talk about in the game as well. We put it again. We won the game tonight. we've probably shipped a couple of goals we shouldn't have. But I don't think we ever were really in danger of losing that game. I think even at 3-3, I felt like we were going to win this game. But like, isn't that what podcasts are about and what kind of are about?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, there's loads of chat going on in the chat room, and and there's people saying positive, negatives. One of those things. And I love all that, and the more debate you can get, and you will get people that say, no, we are fine, and other people go, no, we are horrendous. I'm not one of those. I'm kind of in between. Avi Hantra has joined us and says, nothing like a Champions League night at Anfield. Avi, how are you, my man? I haven't seen you in a while. Nord Red said, Origi is the perfect sub. He knows his job. Somebody else, Chris Brack, says he thought the Origi sub really helped us. And somebody asks, what do we make of two midfielders being subbed off? That was Carl. Carl, I think it was... one, I don't think Henderson was good enough, and I will say that, and I'm the biggest supporter of Henderson you'll find. Two, I think Wijnaldum coming off was a change in system, allowing Origi to come on a little bit like the weekend. It's just, it's good. I suppose it's good to see that we can make, you can haul a player off, go, not happening for you tonight. You can take another one off and go, listen, we're changing the system. And it's a rest for both of them as well if they're going to play at the weekend. So that's not a bad thing, But look, Salah gets the winner, Damo, and that was a Salah finish. That's Salah 2017-18 for me. Yeah.
It was kind of, he sees what's going to happen. He sees it early, spots it, makes his run, and then he doesn't even think about it. I think sometimes, probably in the last couple of weeks, even at Sheffield United the other day, he's too much time to think about the finish. Where tonight he doesn't have time to think about it. It's just he gets there and he laces it, and you're dead right. That's Salah from.
Yeah, look.
2 years ago.
Yeah, look. I'm just watching it back there. It goes in the box. Firmino gets that little flick on it, but you can see that Salah straight away is like, I'm on this. I'm on it straight away. There's no hesitation. There's no kind of standing around waiting. Is it gonna drop to me? He's straight in, and there's no messing with it. Like, he has a chance in the first half where he's put through, and you're thinking he might lob the keeper here. He goes to smash it. It goes wide, and you're thinking a little bit hesitant there. Usually Salah would just lob the keeper or bury it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Salah in top form just clips the keeper there and he scores. But this one here, like you said, no time to think. Ball drops, great anticipation, gets in between two defenders, smashes it past the goalkeeper, and it's 4-3. But they were overall in the group, 2 games played, 3 points. Napoli drew tonight, so they're on 4. Salzburg are on 3. Genk are on 1. We're basically starting the group again here, aren't we? We're 4 left. We have Genk to play twice. 3 wins and we're in. We're done. That kind of way. So it kind of went for us tonight as well with Napoli. Now, how they didn't score is beyond me, but a good result for us. And overall in the group tonight, it worked out really well for us.
It did. It did. Like, the last thing you want to do is to be chasing Napoli. Now you'll get through on second place. I think Genk are looking like they're going to be the whipping boys of the league now. I know they got a point off Napoli tonight, but I don't see them causing us many problems over there. Where I'd probably be a bit more fearful going to play somebody else over there. I think we beat Genk twice, and then that's basically our 9 points on the board. And then if you pick another 1 or 2 up, I think normally they say 9 points will get you out of the group.
10 usually guarantees you.
I said we beat Genk twice, and then we can pick up 1 or 2 against.
I'd love to win our next 3. They give us 12, and we go to Salzburg with nothing really on it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Just get it out of the way. It'd be nice to and it's good that don't we play Genk back to back? Yeah,
we're away. I think we're away to Genk next, and then home. Then we're home to Napoli, and then away to Red Bull on the last day, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a lovely way to do it. If you can go and get your result in Genk, then get them back to Anfield, then you're sitting on 9 points, and then hopefully Salzburg and Napoli cut each other's throat in between,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Salzburg are giving Napoli problems. I really
think
do.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I really do. I liked them tonight. I thought they were a bit naive in the first half with the way they set up and gave us so much room down the sides, but they grew into it, and a couple of tactical kind of tweaks that they done. It worked out well for them. It really, really did. James Kelly says, Cores on a school night, Gav, you dirty animal. Yeah, mate, to be honest with you, I said to Damo at 5 to 10, Damo, I'm just going to get myself a drink and I'll be right back to you. And then I realised there was 8 cans in the back of the car. So I went and took one. Somebody says there they want let me see. We will top that group and give us Ramos, please. Oh, this is Real Madrid. Damo, did you see the 2 goals for Bruges last night? Sorry to go off topic, but did you see the 2 goals for Bruges last night?
I only seen the first one.
Ah, mate. So the first
I
one,
was still laughing when the second one fucking came around. So
you were still laughing. So the first one, for anyone that didn't see, the ball's played down the left wing. It's centered into the I think his name, I can't remember his name now, but it's centered into this guy, and he goes to, I think, hit it with his right foot. He kicks it off his left foot, and it goes in past Courtois, right, who subsequently was taken off at half time, Courtois, right. Then the second one, Damo, right. I think Real Madrid have a Modric. He goes to just give it to the left back. This fella intercepts it, goes through and goal. But as he's running through and goal, Damo, it's like he gets matted legs, and his legs start going all over the place. He's tripping over, and next of all, he just chips the keeper. It was absolutely, go and watch it, Damo. If you type in Bruges goals on Twitter, you'll see the both of them. The second one is just fucking hilarious. But yeah, I take Real Madrid all day if we get out of this group and we can get at them. We really can. Just to let you know, everyone, on the Paddy Power bets, one bet did come in tonight. It was it was Liverpool to win, Mane to score, and over 6.5 corners. I think there was 8 or 9 corners in the game, so we won that. I think we only got a tenner back off. It was even money with a tenner on it, so we only got a tenner in return. But we're off the mark. We're absolutely off the mark. All we needed, lads, what was it? We needed the Van Dijk goal, and that would have given us, I think, somewhere in the region of 150 quid, but it didn't happen. But look, we're off the mark. All right, Dennis was the player's name that played for Bruges last night. So yeah, we're off the mark. I know it's only a small amount, but it means now we're up and running. Paddy Power better start running away, legging it, because we're coming to get them. Let me see. Chris Brack says, "What's the biggest scare you've seen an LFC side given by a smaller side in Europe? Mine was Standard Liège, the Champions League qualifier. Kite with an extra time winner." Yeah, Jesus, remember that? Wasn't Fellaini playing for them at the time? I think Fellaini was playing for them at the time, and we were awful away from home, and we ended up winning an extra time. Yeah, I remember that one well. Damo, just looking forward, because I probably won't speak to you before the weekend is here. Liverpool play at 3 o'clock against Leicester at Anfield. People are asking, are we on telly? I think you'll get it on Premier Sports. If you have access to that, you will get it. If you have access to NBC Sport in America, you will get it on one of those channels as well. Stephen Mack says, "Bad bet, Gav." Listen, it was a bet that was suggested, and it was the one that came in, so we're up and running. But just looking forward to it. A couple of people have mentioned, Leicester could have a field day. Leicester will be buoyed by what he's seen tonight. Do you know what, Damo? I have this theory, and I don't know whether it's me being just completely off the wall. I hope Brendan Rodgers watched that tonight. I hope it gave him encouragement to come out and try do something against us, because I think we'll rip them a fucking sunder if they do.
I think we'll beat them anyway. Listen, Brendan Rodgers, he's done very well at Leicester. But we've seen him as a Liverpool manager. He's only going to be able to play one way, and that's to try come and take us on toe to toe. If he tries to come and contain us on Saturday, they'll fall asunder. So I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think it'll be a good game. I think they will try to play us, and that's what will suit us down to the ground. I don't see where this big fucking fear from Leicester's come all of a sudden. They won the league a couple of years ago and deservedly so on the season. They've done well since Rodgers has come in, but I literally don't see where this big love affair has come with them all of a sudden. They're still miles off us in City, and I think we'll show them that there is still a gulf between the two of us come Saturday. And that's why I'm kind of looking forward to the game, because Rodgers will come, I think, and he'll try to take us on, and we will beat them because we've probably got the better quality to do that. I think Maddison is still missing as well. He's a key link for them. But on the flip side of that, if he comes and tries to contain us or manage the game, I don't think Rodgers does that particularly well. And we've seen it when he was a Liverpool manager. We didn't actually do that very well as a team. We normally came short or came a cropper when he tried to do that. And we really played well when he went at teams and had a go, because that seems to be his main strength. So that's why I'm looking forward to the game now Saturday. I don't fear them. I think we'll take them.
Okay. Mick says there, he agrees with you. He says that, Rodgers only knows how to play one way. I don't know if he only knows how to play one way. I've watched him play different ways against Leicester. He sat back against Chelsea and could have been 4-0 down at half time. Then they came out and kind of had a little go at Chelsea, And then, did I say they came out against Leicester? Chelsea. And they sat back and could have been 3 or 4 down first half. Then they kind of came out and had a little go. Then they sat back and tried to hit them on the break and looked really, really good. So it's one of those where I just want to see Liverpool come out and, you know, if you get 2 or 3 goals up here, I don't want foots off pedals. I don't want us going at gung-ho. I want us to go and go, you know what, we're going to pass you off the park here and we're going to break your spirit to the point where, you know, we can go and put 3 or 4 more in. Somebody says there, Klopp was going to bang a few heads tomorrow and get us in line for Saturday. Klopp will show, Stephen says Klopp will show Rodgers why he is the real LFC manager. What else have we got there? What else had we got? Oh, there was one other there that it's gone off the screen on me. But look, Damo, we've won 4-3. Mad game. They come around every so often. But I suppose the big positive to come out of is we didn't play well overall for not the majority, but for some of the game. We got caught a little bit cold, but we still came out and we still won the game. You just have to take the positives now, don't you, and move on and get past Saturday and take stock again. And that's hopefully 8 from 8 and back in the Champions League group and up and running.
Exactly. It could be worse if we were sitting here saying we played particularly well and drew the game.
Yeah.
You know, we can look at tonight and say we played brilliantly in patches, we played poorly in patches, and we've come out with 3 points and won the game. So, yeah, there's positives to take from it. There's a couple of sloppy things done tonight. But, as I've said there, I've seen us play better over the years and come away with nothing. And that's more disappointing. So, sometimes we just have to take the wins when they come. I watch Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, the whole lot do that for years and win titles and win cups. We're not playing well, and when they weren't playing well, they were winning games. Yeah. And we can say we're not playing well, but let's put it this way, we're not playing bad either.
Yeah. Somebody says there, Andy Robertson's first Champions League goal for Liverpool. Brilliant. My favourite goal for a long, long time, in fairness. Stephen Mack says it was the greatest ever goal scored in the history of LFC. I would disagree. I think Jordan Henderson's one away to Southampton last season was the best goal Liverpool have ever scored in their history. The fume that we didn't lose tonight is real. Yeah, Mick, it probably is from opposition fans. You know, Spurs were absolutely handed their arse last night. It was fucking madness to watch that one was. Arsenal, United's Europa League action tomorrow already. And you have, I don't know, can anyone tell me the final score in the Chelsea game tonight? I didn't get it.
2-1 to Chelsea, I think it was.
2-1 to Chelsea, 2-1 to Chelsea. Stephen Mack is having a chips and curry. A chips and curry. A curry chips. Curry chips, man. Stephen, you need...
Chinese chips or the chipper chips?
I don't know what they are, but he's having curry and chips. So, but Stephen's drunk. He's always drunk. I love Stephen. But look, before I go, we will be back tomorrow night. I think Phil is joining me tomorrow night. Now, Phil, braces ourselves because Phil is going to come on and tell you that Liverpool are the worst side he's ever seen and all sorts of stuff because Phil is fucking insane. But listen, we'll grin and bear at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Just to let you know, I'd like to thank Footy Globe. They sent me a nice T-shirt, the Unbearables T-shirt. You've probably seen on our timeline. Stuff from Footy Globe. They've T-shirts, all different sort of designs. I ordered one off them last week. It came really, really nice. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Irish Cop. If you look them up on Twitter, they are doing their hoodies. They're really, really nice. I'm going to wear it tomorrow night. I'll send out a picture of it as well. But they're doing hoodies. I'll get the prices. I'll get all the details. But it's basically they're raising money for between themselves, the Jamie Carragher Foundation and Carragher's Bar in New York City. They've put together a really, really top drawer hoodie. I'll have all the details for you tomorrow night if you want to go and support that. That's about it. Barry Carr asks, is it Phil the serial killer? Yes, it is Phil the serial killer. Trev basically told everybody last week, Damo, that Phil was a serial killer. I don't know if you listened back to that, but yes, it's Phil the serial killer. Ed Kemper, I think he was liking to. So, yeah, he'll be back on tomorrow night. Last thing before I go, tickets for Saturday. I've seen Dave's LFC chats on the chat there, and he is looking for a ticket for Saturday. If anybody can hook him up, get in touch with him at Dave's LFC chats, because I'd help anyone out that's looking for a ticket. But I will genuinely tell you that 2 lads off the podcast are booked, everything to go to Liverpool on Saturday to watch Leicester. They've been let down today with tickets. They've actually from what I can make out, they've paid a guy and the tickets haven't showed up, so they've been a bit stung. So if anyone knows of 2 spares or 3, including Dave's LFC chats, please get in contact with us at LFC Day Trippers, lfcdaytrippers@gmail.com, if we can try sort these lads out. They are travelling to Liverpool. I think they've been stung for these tickets and they're still going to travel. So anyone know any spares going, please let us know and we will be forever grateful. Damo, thanks a million for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always.
Take it easy, mate.
Take it easy, pal. That's been the Fatback 480. I hope you've enjoyed it. Liverpool are back on track in the Champions League. Forget the fact we conceded 3 because we scored 4. Over and out.